the city of lights, came here to move on. Came here for the bitches that might suck me to the drums. Was I wrong for taking up your time? Am I wrong for thinking that it's time to be myself?
Oh, hell no. Nope, not doing it. Alright, f this. Now that's been taken care of. I can go do something actually productive. Oh, come on! Fine, but I'm not doing the dance again. Ah, f. I guess we're playing FNAF today. Again. What is up? Peoples of the interconnected net, and please don't make me play this one. Like, come on, I thought we were done with Five Nights at Freddy's.
And so did the FNAF community. At the end of Pizzeria Simulator, it kinda closed things off and ended the story. I mean, a little after the game's release, Scott Cawthon, the game's creator, released Ultimate Custom Night, which added more hints to the lore, but nothing really new. The games were done, and there was nothing more than to put the pieces of the story together.
Or so we thought.
Because on March 25th, 2019, during a PlayStation State of Play of all things, they revealed Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted.
Oh, thank God you're back! Look, sorry about murdering you before, but can you please kill me? I really don't want to play this one. What? Hey, where are you going? Hey! Hey! Get back here, you coward!
This was a weird one. For one, this was the first FNAF game to ever appear on a console, because on its initial launch it released on both PC and PlayStation VR, which then later got a release on Oculus Quest, and then they also later added a flat mode, which means you got to play the game just without the VR headset, so they could also bring the game to both Switch and Xbox. Hell, why stop there? They even reworked the game one more time to get a mobile port for iOS and Androids.
Sure, why not?
Fans were excited for this game. FNAF had a really great concept alone that would work really well in VR. It's honestly a win-win. The game released on May 28th, 2019 to pretty good reception, like 9 out of 10 all across the board.
Yeah, I know this is the part where I'm supposed to start playing the game, but there's still more information I can talk about, like Steelwool Studios, the developer behind this game.
Steelwool Studios is an independent game studio founded by...
What? What? I am not. Me? Scared? Nothing scares me. I just don't want to. No, because I don't want to play it. I am not scared. Fine. Whatever gets you to shut the f up. I don't really want to do this, but I guess I don't have a choice. Besides, what could possibly go wrong? What was that? What? What do you mean, trap? Including the DLC? No!
Alright, here goes nothing. I can do this. I can do this.
I can't do this. I can't do this.
Thought I didn't raise a bitch. I guess I was wrong.
Mama didn't raise a bitch.
Okay, I'm calm. Totally not trembling at the sight of these towers that are animatronics. Let's start a new game.
Welcome to the Freddy Fazbear Virtual Experience.
I honestly wasn't sure what to expect, but this definitely wasn't it.
We know that Fazbear Entertainment has developed something of a bad reputation over the last few decades, and while it's true that some stories associated with our name were loosely based on actual events, the majority of them were total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic. Lawsuits pending.
Hold up. Did Scott just make himself canon in his own lore? So you're telling me that all of this is not real, but they are just games based off stories? Or are there other games that are the same as these ones that are different? I'm so lost. See, this is why I stopped keeping track of the lore of this shit.
You acknowledge that Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for accidental digital consciousness transference, real-world manifestations of digital characters, nightmares, night terrors, night sweats.
Did he just say night sweats? Nah, there ain't no way this digital contract is legal. Nope. This is a legal contract. They got you dead to rights. So what are my options if things go bad? Well, you could sue them, but they are a big corporate entity, so you could be looking at hundreds upon thousands of dollars in legal fees. Okay, but what if I don't want to spend that money? Then you're I like those odds. Here we are, Five Nights at Freddy's VR, Help Wanted. From here we could choose from a plethora of different game modes. We got FNAF 1 through 3, the dark rooms, parts and service, vent repairs, and finally night terrors. Yeah, definitely don't think I need to play that last one. This game alone is gonna give me night terrors. What? FNAF 1, 2, and 3 I'm gonna clump together because they basically are just VR remakes of those games. Just check the cameras and survive until 6 a.m. And dare I say, the VR versions are way easier than the originals because in FNAF 1, using the cameras doesn't use any power. Just using the doors and lights do. In FNAF 2, there's no power to even worry about because your flashlight will never die. All you gotta do is keep the camera on the music box, press the button, and then check both vents in the hallway to see who's there and just react accordingly. With FNAF 3, you can reboot all the systems while still using the cameras and audio, making these versions of the games 10 times easier than the originals. Ah, yep. No, 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 no! 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 That, no! 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 I wasn't even looking. Where were you? Granted, you would also have to be at least decent at playing games in order for anything to be easier. I mean, I totally don't know what that was because I'm playing the game for the first time right this second. Curse. Next up, we got Dark Rooms. Remember that plush trap minigame in between nights in FNAF 4? Well, it's that, just now in VR. Nope, fuck that, I'm out. Great. That wasn't so bad. All right, let's do the Balloon Boy one next. Oh my god, you're so massive. What the f? You look like you could easily bite my hand off. Now the last two of this mode is where they decided to change things up, where you're not stopping Plush Baby or Funtime Foxy on an X. In fact, the last two are completely different from each other. With the Plush Babies, you have to survive until 6 a.m. while playing hide and seek with them. And with Funtime Foxy, you have to get across the room without her catching you, and all you have is a flash beacon to help you find your way, very similar to how it was in Sister Location.
How can I help you today?
Honestly, so much, but that's not why I'm here today.
Okay, then why are you here?
Well, I figured if I did a cutaway, then I wouldn't be stuck in the headset anymore, forced to play Five Nights at Freddy's VR.
I think we should unpack everything you just said.
I'm free!
Or not.
You know, we should really talk about your masking problem. It's very unhealthy. Hey! Damn it! Moving on to parts and service. This mode is where you get to work on and repair the original 4 animatronics and... Holy shit, you're massive! This mode, honestly, is pretty easy. You just gotta listen to the instructions and do as followed. You just kinda gotta get over how close you are to the animatronics and that they can't actually hurt you.
Unless you have a plushie that cursed you into playing the game, of course.
Next up, vent repairs, and we're lucky I don't have claustrophobia because, yep, this would definitely trigger it. This mode is also great because there's only 2 levels to it, just a mangle and an entered level. The mangle level is simple. You have 3 vents, one in front of you and one on either side of you, each one having a small puzzle to solve. But while you're solving each puzzle, you gotta watch the other vents because mangle will try to sneak up on you and make you the next Bite of 87 victim.
Actually, there is no proof in any game or book that Mangle is the one that did the Bite of 87. This is only pure speculation from the FNAF community based off of Mangle's jump scare in FNAF 2.
So, entered, right?
Entered's level is a little bit longer than Mangle's, as we have 3 different floors of puzzles. On the first floor, you have to follow the lit up power boxes to the corresponding buttons, with each vent getting slightly more challenging than the last. On the next floor, you got a set number of gears that you have to figure out where to place them to get more gears to solve the puzzle and move on to the next floor. Speaking of, the third and final floor, you have to put the pipes in the right position and then burn Entered alive.
Because would it be a FNAF game without setting something on fire? Because that always works.
I always come back.
Alright, here we are, at the final levels. Night Terrors. This series of levels is basically FNAF 4 in VR, where you're in the crying child's bedroom and you have to check the doors to the left and right of you and wait and listen for breathing, then shut the doors if you hear it or flash your light down the hall if you don't. You also have a closet in front of you and a bed behind you also have to check. This time around though, you're not looking for Nightmare Chica, Bonnie, Foxy, or Freddy. Instead, we got some new faces here. First up, we got Funtime Freddy from Sister Location, with him also bringing Bon Bon and Bonette being little that scare you but don't actually kill you, with Freddy being the one that kills you. Next up, we got Nightmare On, which was from the original game, but in a Halloween update that came shortly after that game's launch. This is a nightmare version of the puppet that was deemed non-canon back with the Halloween update, so it's pretty interesting to see him show up here. His level is made easier because you can see his glowing eyes in the dark, so you don't really have to listen. You also gotta watch out in the room for its tentacles.
Scott, I know your community is filled with freaks that want to bang a robotic chicken, but tentacles? Really? Really?
Next up is Circus Baby, which changes things up oddly. This time you're hiding in the closet while Baby walks around your room to try and find you, and when she spots you, all you gotta do is just close the door until she walks away. But you can't keep the doors closed for too long because the triumphant return of the plush babies are back, and they'll kill you if you do.
Oh God! Would you stop doing that? I knew you would come back. Go ahead, kill me. Just do it.
Last level, and we'll finally be done with this game. Last up, we got Nightmare Fredbear. Returning back to the FNAF 4 models, similar to Nightmare On, you don't really need to flash your flashlight because you'll see Fredbear's glowing red eyes come towards you. It's a really creepy detail that looks really cool in VR, I must say.
And with that, we have played all of Five Nights at Freddy's VR Help Wanted. Oh, come on!
What more is there? Oh, well, I guess I could talk about the collectibles. Throughout the game, you have 2 types of collectibles. You have the fast token that unlocks different stuff at the prize counter, and the other collectible there is are these glitch tapes, which I don't really know what they— Jesus!
Hi! Have you always been there? What are you?
Okay, with that creepiness aside, maybe this switch has something to do with the glitch tapes?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna get murdered.
This is kind of cool looking in a creepy way, and no. No, it can't be. No, no, no! So it turns out every single mode has a hard mode to it. Ah, good grief. All right, let's do this. It would seem that most of these are just filters that try to mess you up, but some have unique tricks to it. FNAF 1, everything has a Twilight Zone feel to it, being in black and white, but with also the addition of at random having your doors and lights open and close. FNAF 2 is just disco mode. That's it. But they later added a withered level to it, which you have the ability to choose the difficulty of easy, normal, or hard when going into it, which this is the only level to do so it's a nice addition. Although FNAF 2 is still the easiest levels in the entire game regardless. FNAF 3, you're in the building while it's on fire. I'm assuming this is a nod to the ending of the original FNAF 3 where there was a newspaper that said the place burned down. Dark rooms, plush trap, same thing as before, but now you're really small. Nightmare Balloon Boy, the room is now filled with balloons. He's still creepy as shit. Plush babies? That. Nope. Funtime Foxy. This time you're trying to avoid Lolbit in a room filled with other animatronics. Fun fact, if you run into them, they can kill you. Learn that the hard way. Parts and service. Bonnie has a disco filter, distorted music, and oh yeah, you're working on what I'm assuming is Shadow Bonnie. Chica, bugs are massive, Cupcake is now Nightmare Cupcake, and Chica kind of looks the same as Bonnie. Freddy, back to the Twilight Zone feel with a black and white filter, multiple static screens surrounding you, and floating random objects. Foxy, we're in hell, and Foxy is now Molted Foxy. All these are pretty much the same as their normal counterparts, not really that much harder. Vent repairs. Mangle, the same thing as before, except now you have to watch out for Mangle and Dark Mangle. Ennard, again, same thing as before, except everything is flipped upside down and an additional jump scare at the end. Please tell me we're almost done. It's getting really hot in here. All right, Night Terrors. We got Pizza Party? Huh. This one is really different compared to all the other levels that came before it. This one's like a maze where you have to enter a room and then choose which door to go through, but if you take too long, the animatronic that is in that room will get you and you'll have to start over again. What I like about this level is that each room is a nod to every corner of the FNAF game, from each of the offices from FNAF 1 and 3 to the plush trap hallway, all leading up to backstage, where you get a slice of cake and some pizza, and where Spring Bonnie invites you on stage and...
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Fazbear Entertainment would like you to put your hands together for the one, the only.
Oh, I 100% was one of the kids in the missing children's incident that got stuffed into Freddy. What a great ending. This is actually one of 3 endings. Remember those tapes I mentioned earlier? Well, if you collect them all and listen to them, it's a girl talking about how there was a glitch that got into the game. She tried to get rid of it, but the best she could do was get it to attach itself to these tapes and then disassemble them, and that we should not collect the tapes. You think that information would have been helpful on tape? I don't know. 1? Lucky for us, on the final tape, she tells us that this thing, let's call it Glitch Trap, wants to take over your body, and then she tells us how to defeat him. So this brings us to the 2 other endings. One being when Glitch Trap goes to attack you, you do nothing and let him body swap with you so he can go do his crimes in your body. And the other ending is when he goes to switch bodies with you, you flip the switch, press the Showtime button, and press the button behind your computer, and bam, you're in a room? What kind of ending was that? Well, that clearly was the true ending to the game because Glitch Trap is now a plushie, but what the f? All 3 of these endings are more like endings than endings. And who the hell is Jeremy, and why do you have to cut his face off with a paper cutter? Makes no damn sense.
Congratulations. It appears you have been granted access to additional holiday content.
The Curse of Dreadbear. This DLC released not that long after the original game, bringing 3 new modes into play. All right, I'm over this. Let's just get through it. First mode is Are You Afraid of the Dark? This one we have 3 different games to choose from, being the Plushkin Patch. The plush babies are back, but this time they're in a pumpkin patch and Yup, I still hate them. Pirate Ride. This one's actually one of my favorites. It's one of those shoot targets and get points kind of rides where we try to get a high score and learn that
The real treasure was friendship all along.
And lastly of this mode is the Corn Maze, where you walk around a, you guessed it, corn maze while Fire Foxy chases you. Oh, well, you have to find a key and get to the exit from one of the 4 gates. There is a secret ending if you collect all 4 keys and unlock the cellar. You get a mask teasing the villain of the next game, Vanny. And I tried so hard to do it. I even sat and played for 2 hours in flat mode trying to get all 4 keys, and I couldn't do it. This mode and Fire Foxy. Moving on. Spooky Mansion. First up, hallway. Basically red light, green light with the nightmare characters. I like this one for how cool and creepy it is to see Foxy in the distance appear and disappear with the lightning flashes, and Nightmare Freddy chasing you the whole time. This one was really awesome, man. I wish there was more stuff like that. Build a Mangle. Pretty much that one episode of I Love Lucy. You have 2 conveyor belts with a bunch of parts on it and a screen in front of you telling you which parts you need to grab. Grab them and throw them in the bin in front of you, and at the end you get to see your creation.
Oh my god, I gave it a penis. What the Oh! Oh my, I gave it a penis again.
Yeah, mine always came out with dongs for some reason. Trick or treat, ring the doorbell and watch the animatronics walk around the house. Well, you have to guess who's gonna answer the door and wear a correlating mask. And lastly of this mode, we got Dreadbear. And for the life of me, I did this one so many times correctly and I kept dying over and over and over again. This level. Next. The last of the DLC is Danger Keep Out. 3 nights of a remix FNAF 1 where you only have to watch out for Jacko Chica and Jacko Bonnie. You basically have to find them on the cameras and flash a light at them to make them disappear. Your power won't go out completely, but when you do run out of power, you do have a generator that will restore it. But using the generator will leave you open to being attacked. I really do like this one for its unique take on a FNAF game, and again, I wish they did more stuff like this. I'm free! But you know what? I honestly had a lot of fun. I went into this game terrified to play it, but after spending the 7 to 10 hours in it, I found myself laughing at the jump scares or getting mad because of how close I was to beating the level. I was right, FNAF had a great concept that translated so well into VR. It was just the right amount of creepy and fun that I came out actually wanting more. Well, more of everything else other than the plush babies, because so help me God, if the plush babies return in the sequel, I will put my head in an animatronic's mouth and hope it crushes my skull like it did the crying child in 1983. Well, with that, I guess there's only one more game in the main series. Maybe next time.
Everyone's come back.